Lately, I've been in the mood for some space horror, and this game has been sitting in my library for the better part of a year now, so I decided to try it. Cards on the table for this cosmic horror adventure. It was a generally confusing story for me to follow, but I still think that it was worth trying to simplify and share with you all. There are Lovecraftian elements, so you might get your Lovecraft fix, but let me know. Also, this was made by the same developers of another game I covered a while ago, The Park. It's part of that same universe. But that game got a lot of hate. However, I really enjoyed it. Link to that will be down below. Tonight, we're going to walk through this story together. Remember, this is a story explained, not a lore video. There is a difference. With me, you're getting answers and a journey. And if you enjoy getting that natural player's experience when you go through games, hitting that like button encourages me to keep making more for you. But since you're still here, you're coming with me. Welcome to
Moons of Madness.
Our journey begins inside of Orochi's Martian base, the heart of what has been designated as the Invictus mission. Orochi is the powerful and vastly wealthy corporation from Earth spearheading this research operation here on Mars. Shane jolts awake in the middle of the night, heart pounding, pulse racing, as if some unseen danger had followed him into his dreams. But what he doesn't know is that this is about to turn into a nightmare for the worst, and he might not be waking up from this one. Naturally, we step outside to investigate and explore, but the base is silent. No voices, no comms, just empty corridors swallowed in shadow and darkness. The quiet is oppressive, broken only by the hum of machinery and the hiss of automatic doors. But then, movement. An ominous silhouette vanishes into the dark just as I catch a glimpse of it. Pressing on, a light flickers overhead, drawing our eyes to a whiteboard. Two large blood circles are intertwined in crimson, their meaning unclear but unsettling still. What is this? Around the symbol is what looks like a to-do list for the crew, scrawled with frantic energy, interrupted by a fading phrase, "They never turn away." The double moon symbol is something that we're going to see everywhere, and as we explore further, we discover strange black roots spread on the ground. But, to our terror, the rootstocks are alive.
Ugh. What is that?
Walking along the creepy corridors, we pick up a crowbar and use it to open a stuttering door nearby. But then, the voice of a woman interrupts our thoughts as we walk inside of a room. In the right corner, a small birthday party is awaiting us. The woman orders us to blow the candles. However, as we're about to be a good boy and obey,
Oh my god. What was that?
Oh, rise and shine, folks.
Is everybody okay?
I almost spilled my coffee. Oh my gosh. I'll have to check the readings, but that may have been our biggest quake yet.
Standard procedure. Newhart, you know what to do. If there's any critical damage to the base, let me know.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Dr. Van Buren, you will assist me at the landing site for the Cyrano. Declan, you're on comms. Find any system issues, relay them to Shane.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Switch to a private frequency, Declan. No chatter on open channels. Over and out.
we then take some time to learn about Shane and the work that he's doing. On the window, we see Shane's notes about the two moons, Phobos and Deimos, which are actually two of Mars's moons in real life. But heading out of our room, we played with a toy spaceship, and it is here that we notice a scar on our right hand. Two intertwined circles, exactly the same symbol as in the nightmare. During this time, Shane talks with his co-worker Declan as he walks to the kitchen to get his coffee. A lot of coffee. And between the small talk, Declan asks us to check our bio gauge, a device attached to our wrist, but it's missing. Heading to the lab to retrieve said bio gauge, Shane is blocked by a malfunctioning door, oddly reminiscent of our little nightmare, and it quickly becomes clear that the base is riddled with technical problems. Now, you'd expect cutting-edge systems that work properly on a mission to Mars, yet everything feels as unreliable as the tech that we struggle with back home. After we recover our bio gauge, another issue crops up. The solar panels are malfunctioning, but the only fix requires manual troubleshooting. So, climbing into the rover, we set off towards the solar panels.
Headed to the solar panel array.
Well, now you've got nothing to do but listen to me.
Just when my migraine was starting to clear up. I'm actually glad to have the Cyrano landing today. Some fresh faces, and supplies, distractions. Everyone's so on edge lately. I don't know, maybe I'm just imagining it. These dreams are starting to get to me.
Yeah, you're not the only one having strange dreams there, Ace.
You too?
Oh yeah. I mean, put yourself in my shoes. You log out after your shift, eat some rehydrated meatloaf, and bunk down for the night. But the second you fall asleep, it feels like you're back at your desk and you hear the static again. Calibrate, more static, calibrate, then something sounds different. It's a pattern. You start decoding it. It's gibberish, but the static keeps talking. It wants you to hear the symbols.
Base.
Yeah, don't worry about me, big guy. They're just dreams. Yeah, and then I wake up and there's scribbled notes around me. Feels like I haven't slept at all. All right, I showed you mine. Now lay it on me. Dreams, nightmares, fantasies, your deepest, darkest fears. Let's hear it.
Sorry, I just pulled up to the office. I'll have to get back to you on all that.
Suit yourself. The anticipation is killing me.
At the solar site, things are not getting better as the elevator is not working either. Once at the top of the mountain, we start restoring power to the solar arrays, complaining about Lucas, a botanist, who keeps misplacing power cells for some reason. And this leads us to the research facility where we're spooked by the same woman from our nightmare.
Huh? Who's that?
Who's what?
Don't know. Thought I saw someone.
Next, we learn from the entries written on the computer that the solar panels have been a consistent issue. But all in all, Shane doesn't mind, as it gives him an excuse to go outside. With the new power cell in hand, we head back to the solar panels to finish their final calibrations. Along the way, Shane talks about how the Cyrano should be arriving soon, bringing in resupplies, and, of course, I imagine, they may be seeing new faces. Soon, power is restored to the base, but then there's another problem, pointed out by Declan. The greenhouse is flooded, and Ina is pissed about this.
Shane, I've got good news and bad news. Good news, I think we just found water on Mars. Bad news, it is spraying all over the greenhouse. Restoring power must have triggered the pumps, and I'm showing significant pressure loss across the system.
Can't be cut off remotely?
Oh, sorry, cowboy. This is a job that requires your hands-on expertise.
All right. Heading back now.
What did you just do? I have water spraying all over my greenhouse. I would not expect this from a new heart.
Can't you just turn it off?
I do not have time for this. You will fix this.
Jeez. Who shit her cereal?
On the way back, Shane confesses to Declan that he can't stop thinking about his nightmare. This leads him to talk about his missing mother the day after his birthday. He says that the day that she went missing, he went down into the basement to try to find her, but he encountered something, and he couldn't find her then. In fact, she was just gone, and ever since then she's been missing. But where did she go? Inside the greenhouse, we need to find a way to fix the leaks, and navigating our way through, we also stop to find entries of a journal written by a Dr. Lucas Van Buren. He shares his findings about the plants that he's been trying to grow with Martian soils, but it gets even deeper. Only one plant gave them some troubles, the Mauna Loa, but Dr. Bolkova made a genetically modified version of that, which seems to thrive, giving them exceptional results. But this same doctor also rudely insists that Shane fixes the water pumps, despite knowing that Shane doesn't have the security clearance to access it.
Looks like it needs a higher security level. Ina?
What is it?
The door to underground access is locked.
I have instructed Dr. Van Buren to lock all doorways to critical projects. This is the culmination of my entire life's work. We do not want contamination.
I can't fix it if I can't get to the pumps.
That is an inconvenience? You are the inconvenience. Figure it out. That is your job, yes?
I should have sent a plumber.
Moving on, that is when we see it. Walking in the flooded path, a shadow of a strange silhouette passes by as we hear the groaning of something inhuman. I hope, whatever that is, we never have to come face to face with it. The troubleshooting mission quickly leads us to an ominous corridor with black rootstocks spreading on the wall, exactly like in our dream. We warn Ina about the contamination, but she doesn't seem worried about it and insists on its amazing growth and evolution.
Ina, the entire mangrove root structure is contaminated. There is a viscous black substance like oil. It seems like it's spreading.
It is not contaminated. It is changing, evolving. It's beautiful. It is reborn.
This doesn't look right.
No, constant interruptions. I do not have time to explain myself to you.
We continue our Expedition 33 carefully and find computer entries written by Lucas. The doctor seems overextenuated with various tasks, including his assistance to Ina, but for some reason, he also seems to be in dire concern about her state of mind as of late. But moving forward, Declan says we have to restore the water reclaimer and shut off the sprinkler valves to have a chance at ending the flood. In the next room, the infection has spread to an unhealthy level, making Shane really worried. But Ina starts to sound unhinged in the comms, talking about her plans as her children.
Holy shit! Ina! Dr. Volkova, where are you? Something is seriously wrong. The infection is everywhere.
Not infection. It's evolution. Adaptation. Perfection. My children, they grow so quickly, wrapped in creeping rootstocks, where sap and blood coagulate. Do not fight it. Allow it to blossom. First in human history, the merging of two life forms.
Yeah, we have to put an end to this. But after turning off the first sprinkler, we end up finding a room where something visibly escaped its cage and broke a massive window. Something is on the loose. After we activate the environment control system, we end the troubleshooting process. Now everything should be fixed and this can all blow over, but that isn't exactly what happened.
What the hell? Declan, are you there? Declan! God damn it, Declan! What is that? Shit!
Whatever this abomination is, it kind of looks humanoid, if you ignore the tentacles and tendrils that are bursting out of its body menacingly. Only one thought presents to us: run. But you know how I am, and I like seeing what the death scenes look like, so... The chase starts. Shane runs as fast as he can, like he's the gingerbread man, and after what felt like forever, we finally escape the greenhouse and immediately try to warn our colleagues about the creature. But nobody answers because the signal is disrupted, so we head to the comm site. Arriving at the communications center, we're actually distracted by a glowing cave that was absolutely not there before. Proceeding down said cave, Shane's vision seems to glitch and the scar on his hand is glowing purple. But that's when a strange scepter with an orb appears before large black tendrils and it seems to react to Shane's scar. The orb glows pink and forces the contamination to retract itself, allowing us to enter further into the cave. But at this point, I have no clue if what is happening is real or just a dream. Pushing on, we notice the sentient black roots, how they slither closer when our backs are turned to it, but they hide when we stare or approach them. Crossing a maze of cavities with tendrils snaking across the ground, we reach a circular room with 3 scepters and another one in the center. It looks ritualistic. Discovering a note left by somebody who was going mental, but still had enough sense to leave something for those who come after, we learned a little bit about what's called the Filth, and I think it's whatever this black, sinister, alien-like thing is. But what's odd about being down here is that at times it looks like an alien cave, but then there are remnants of normal everyday areas, further perpetuating my curiosity about whether or not this is a nightmare or if this is all happening for real.
Fuck no!
After loads of puzzles, which I hate, we would soon discover someone in a spacesuit, slowly inching closer to us as if possessed. Shane wonders if this is one of his associates, but they don't respond, so he lets his human instinct for survival take over and he runs away. But he runs to a woman, Now normally this would be okay, especially if it's a woman we love. For an example, I love my wife and I would run to her, no qualms. But Shane runs to a woman who seems to be the embodiment of nightmares.
Hello, little dream. I wonder what you are. All the other little dreams are gone. They imagine themselves as astronauts. The filth poured into their shellheads, just like they are, just like your skull. They made such noise they tried to wake the moons, remained a variable pulp to seal. They must never wake. The lullaby must never end. The moons bend above us. It has all been a brilliant equation. Once you open the book, it's already too late. It is the contagion of grammar. It was always too late. Open your shell, my little dream. Ya, 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 la, ba, sa, ya, ha, ya, 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 la, sa, ya, ha.
What? My childhood basement.
Finding himself in his childhood basement, we proceed to slog through more puzzles in an effort to find a way out. After following a guide, we find a room with a creepy altar, but there's a book, and after playing enough horror games, I know that books are bad. Reading is bad. Accessing the book, we begin to understand that the photos are events with timestamps written on them. However, one stands out to me. It looks like two orbs converging into one another, and this reminds me of the symbols that we've kept seeing throughout all the game, but it also reminds me of the moons of Mars. And Shane has an unsettling feeling, as if the moons are watching him, haunting him. After assembling the pictures in order, I can't help but wonder, is this a vision of the future? Or days of future past? What? Finally, we grab the book, but its touch burns our scar, and then everything goes dark. The next thing we know, we're back in the Meerkat as if we just woke up from a dream. Recalling our objective, we push forward to re-establish communications and to also find Declan. But the path before us feels more and more unsettling. The site is marked with cairns, small stacks of stones arranged deliberately, almost ceremoniously. Are they part of a ritual? It's starting to feel as if though Mars itself has been folded into something larger, incomprehensible in design, like the planet is a piece of a universal ritual. Moving forward, the communications array is malfunctioning, forcing us to climb higher and higher towards the mountaintop. Along the way, we spotted disturbing signs, the walls of a shipping container covered in the word "listen," scrawled over and over as if someone was going insane and desperately trying to be heard. But then Shane becomes fixated on his scar, noticing how it burns despite believing that everything had only been a dream. At last, Declan's habitat comes into view. We hurry inside, desperate to finally find him, but instead of answers, we walk into pure chaos. I mean, the place is in ruins, littered with debris and the same eerie markings from Shane's dreams. And Declan's journal only gives us fragments of clarity. He admits to building the cairns as a way to soothe himself, yet he also writes that the stones sometimes shift on their own overnight. His entries begin to spiral quickly. Paranoia, hallucinations, nightmares, and an unshakable sense of being watched. Eventually, he confesses to even seeing a witch. Was it madness, born of isolation, or something far worse? On his computer, we uncover one final note. His colleagues had already left for the base after losing contact with Shane, unaware that the satellite had failed. Using the elevator, we restore the tower's communications just in time to witness something explode in the Martian sky.
Whoa, what is that? Holy shit! No. Oh my god, please just be a meteor.
But the pit in his stomach says otherwise. His mission suddenly feels more urgent. After stabilizing the signal, Shane tries to desperately warn Josie and Commander Wilcox about a creature lurking in the greenhouse. Only, the interference is too strong, the satellite is too unstable, and the warning never gets through. Outside, The elevator starts to act up before braking, forcing us to jump off.
Oh shit!
Looks like the only way down is to jump. This is gonna hurt. God damn it! Jesus.
But who were the astronauts we just saw? Whoever they aren't our associates, and they seem to have this weird aura about them. Their walk is menacing, but also kind of dreamlike. With our vision glitching and sounds warping, we escape down the mountain, but we're still being chased by the corrupted astronauts. However, that's not the only problem, because to our surprise, the meerkat isn't here anymore. Consequently, we have to run into the sandstorm trying to find where it moved to. But who moved it? Or did it move by itself?
Oh fuck! Close! Come on! Come on, come on!
Barely escaping, communications seem to be restored as Declan's voice crackles through the static. Declan and the rest of the survivors know about the monster in the greenhouse, but he also tells us that the Serrano fell from the sky, which was exactly what we were worried about. What is going on and why is all of this happening? We also learn that the mangrove tree has taken over the base, and while Declan and Josie are out looking for Serranos as survivors, Lucas stayed in the base alone. So hopefully we can find Lucas, and since he is the botanist, he might actually have a solution to our little tree problem. Except nobody is in sight, but Shane finds notes from Lucas. As luck would have it for us, he's been searching for a way to create a plant poison strong enough to stop the tree, called the Z pathogen. He even left behind the formula. Without hesitation, we gather vials and set the centrifuge to work. When we share our discovery with Declan, the plan becomes clear. Poison in hand, we set out to find Lucas again. The good news is that the poison works. Bad news? Lucas. He's dead. His body is wrapped in tendrils, inky coils forcing their way from his mouth. I'm pretty sure he's dead, I think. I hope. One of the fates worse than death is being kept alive like something from Soma. With nothing left to do but press on, we have to find a way to the greenhouse. But the airlock room doesn't have a helmet, so Declan tells us that we just kinda have to hold our breath and run across. So, without his helmet, Shane runs outside at minus 19 degrees Celsius and finds his way to the greenhouse. He's freezing, out of breath, but sure, he's still alive. Just imagine running this distance without any oxygen in this kind of atmosphere. It's crazy. I can't even imagine. After a short recovery, we head to the water purifiers, hoping that the poison would destroy the tree once and for all. The poison seems to be efficient as it's already polluting the water supply, and now he just needs to pour the leftover poison into the environment console to finish the tree off. But that's when strange news reaches our comms. You see, Declan and Josie found a massive door carved out of the cliff, just right where the Serrano crash site is. Could this be the same door as from the photos that we found earlier? So far, everything that was on the pictures seems to be happening step by step. Unfortunately, Declan and Josie decide to enter, while we're still stuck here trying to save the facility. Pouring the poison into the environment console doesn't change much either, but now we have a way to approach the tree trunk. Out of nowhere, a disfigured Ina, who is now part of the tree, I guess she's part plant, part human, some weird fusion now, she attacks us. But after administering some peace with our crowbar's help, we're able to fight her off. The battle is tough, and between poison injections and crowbar hits, we end up defeating her and the tree. After she begs us to kill her, we inject poison directly into her head. Taking her ID, Declan wants us to check Ina's computer, provoking an argument between him and Shane as the stress and pressures run high. But Josie puts an end to their quarrels and orders Shane to just do what Declan said. And this is when we learn that Ina was actually granted special access to secret parts of the Argus facility. Taking this information, we find a hidden elevator inside of the server room and descend into the secret depths of what lies beneath the base. The Argus complex stretches deep beneath the surface, far more advanced than anything that Shane ever even knew existed. It makes sense. Giant corporations always keep their darkest secrets hidden, even from their own people. Security cameras watch every corner, patrols of hostile androids stalk the halls, and their design is eerily reminiscent of something out of Soma. It's obvious we're not supposed to be down here. Meanwhile, up above, Declan and Josie, who, if you remember, passed through those massive alien doors, are steadily making progress on their own expedition. They're convinced the structure has nothing to do with Orochi. The architecture looks ancient, yet Orochi still has equipment scattered all throughout. So whatever's going on, the pieces are starting to fall into place. However, just when the picture starts to sharpen, communication with Declan abruptly cuts off when we move deeper into the complex because we've lost signal. And to make matters worse, the voice in our head, the one that sounds suspiciously like that unstable woman from earlier, returns to taunt us as we press on through the dark. Moving forward, discovering and using a Samuel Chandra's lost ID, we gain access to Security Level 10, a clearance that peels back the mask of Orochi's operations. What we uncover is disturbing. The corporation holds leverage over every member of the Invictus crew. Nobody is here by chance. Take Ina, for example. Her reckless experiments nearly destroyed her career, but Orochi saw an opportunity with her. So they offered her a second chance under the harshest non-disclosure agreement imaginable, binding her to the project. Shane's presence is even more unsettling. You see, he wasn't given employment here based off of his skills and education alone. Instead, Orochi had been watching his family. His mother, Cynthia Newhart, had been researching that alien book that we saw earlier. The strange symbols, the very mysteries that Orochi was desperate to unravel. This is why we're here on Mars in the first place. Why Orochi's equipment and technology is all over and in this planet. Because they found something here, and they plan to extract and exploit whatever it is. And in order to do so, they had to get closer to Shane's mom's work, and possibly try to find out where she is. To do all this, they pulled Shane into the mission, using him as an asset. The deeper we dig, the clearer that everything becomes. Orochi is manipulating everybody. They've been surveilling everybody, even in their own homes, watching them, gathering dirt on them. Josie's file paints her as a serial killer. Her violence during her military service was sanitized under the label of friendly fire. Lucas's record is even darker, with a history of assaults against women. Yet, Lucas still found a place within Orochi thanks to his expertise in philology. The corporation has no moral compass, only an appetite for results. Shane's exploration continues in the maze of corridors, leading him into a room where experiments were made on a baby. The poor lad has black tendrils coming out of his head, but further away, large cylinders containing humans are shining red. It's only after reading the logs in the PC nearby that we understand that these humans are actually clones of us. Guys, this is so ducked up. I'm glad this is just a video game and none of this could ever happen in real life, ever. Impossible. But this shows that the Orochi group had already planned to replace Shane and the gang if the mission didn't work out. And Shane is even wondering if he's the original Shane or if he's just a copy. But heading to the adjacent room, we discover something else that is sickening. In the center of the room are babies being bioengineered. Project Icarus is an experiment to make humans stronger by mixing the filth with the Invictus crew, or their clones at least. Most of the experiments didn't give positive results as the filth contaminated and attacked their cells, but the scientists' logs also announced the filth escaped, and it is further revealed that the scientist was slowly going crazy. He was hearing voices, probably the same that we're hearing during our exploration. The scientist would cut his contaminated hand and leave it at the morgue. But his hand is exactly what we need to continue our journey. Using his hand, we gain access to the elevator. Now, everything should be smooth sailing from here, right? Nope, because the monster, the filth, begins to quickly close in on us.
Oh shit! Come on! Come on! Open! Come on! Shit! Yes! Fuck you, you plant piece of shit!
Digging deeper into Orochi's archives, we uncover a blueprint called New Eden, a plan to build a sprawling city on Mars, and it sounds ambitious, but the files on the Orochi's CEO computer reveal a far darker picture. We learn about a project called Eclipse, which had already been initiated, but then we learn that something else happened, something chaotic. Workers descended into madness, running frantically throughout the base, clawing at the walls until the site was no longer safe for anyone. Alongside this, records mention the discovery of a Gaia Engine on Mars, some artifact of enormous significance, though its true purpose, of course, remains shrouded in mystery. And then we stumble upon the final transmission from the Serrano just before it crashed. The crew reported being attacked by the filth before their end, which reveals something interesting. Whatever the filth is, it's not just contained to Mars. Its reach is off-world, definitely intergalactic. Now, whether it reaches all the way back to Earth or it's just somewhere within the vicinity of Mars, the fact that the filth attacked them on their ship says enough. But nearby on the wall, we find a chilling inscription from the Book of Genesis. The verse recalls Adam and Eve's exile from paradise, humanity's first and greatest loss. Here, it mirrors Orochi's folly, tampering with the power that they cannot control, seeking power and knowledge that does not belong to them, the filth, risking a downfall that could extend far beyond Mars. Activating the commands tied to Project Eclipse, the ground shudders and what was once hidden comes into view. A colossal chained silhouette, the Dreamer.
What the hell is that thing?
Brilliance, yes. Let it connect.
Our family therapist's office. I can still smell the musty leather sofa in the corner. My parents took me here when I started having night terrors.
Shane finds himself in his old therapist's office, and we hear Shane's mother, Cynthia, talking to the therapist through a voice recorder. She clearly did something she shouldn't have, and it's impacted her son. Initially, the visits were for Shane and his night terrors, but it quickly ended up becoming more about his mom than him. Cynthia was a talented scientist who studied both science and dreams. She was even teaching students at university about it. And as we go through this hallucination or whatever this is, we find a question on a whiteboard. How does one access the space between dreams? And nobody in Cynthia's class seems to have the correct answer or even a logical answer. According to Cynthia, the right answer sounds like a cultish quote. The dreaming ones are, and the dreaming ones shall be, not in the spaces we know, but between. The dreaming ones would apparently be able to teach us deep knowledge and deep secrets, but back at the psychiatrist's office, the environment has changed as everything is now smothered in black goo, a manifestation of Cynthia's collapsing mind perhaps, her grip on reality further slipping with each visit. So much so that she had withdrawn into her basement, obsessively studying, claiming that isolation was the only way to silence the voices that haunted her. And the therapist's notes grow bleak. Treatments no longer can help her dissociative episodes, and the decision is made to transfer her to another specialist. We step out of the office, forced onto a fragile makeshift bridge that carries us towards a familiar altar. When Shane opens the book, the voice warns that once it's opened, it's already too late. And the filth surges again, consuming the psychiatrist's office even more than before. Through Cynthia, a devastating truth comes to light. As a child, Shane had already opened the book before. He only had a peek at its pages, but even that simple glimpse was enough to mark him forever. Cynthia bore the weight of this secret, hiding it to protect him, knowing that Orochi would also try to exploit her son without hesitation if they discovered his connection to the book, and to whatever forces and powers the book held. And his mom would even warn the therapist that if he ever told anybody what he knew, what she told him, specifically the Orochi group, about Shane, she would make sure that he would regret it.
And that's why, Doctor, if I found out
But I guess Orochi did eventually get the therapist to spill the beans, and even after Cynthia stopped seeing him, Shane found himself restless, unable to sleep as the contamination had already taken root. Finding ourselves in a void walking on Martian ground, we keep on until we hear her, the female voice.
Why are you doing this?
They cannot awaken. The moons bend above us. It is all but a brilliant equation.
Please, I need you to help me.
I thought I am. I was. I will.
God damn it, who are you?
Shane. I'm sorry, Shane. I've made so many mistakes. You were never supposed to be here.
Mom? Why are you... How did you get here?
My curiosity led me here. The pages of the Necronomicon revealed a mathematics I had never encountered, and a pathway to the dream world. I didn't know that once I made the choice, I could never return. The decision has weighed on me ever since.
Weighed on you? Do you have any idea what that did to us? To Dad? When you left, it broke him. We searched for you for years.
Shane, please, listen.
Has it been you this whole time? In the base, haunting the crew? Driving us crazy with these nightmares?
Stop! The struggle tears at my soul. It takes every ounce of concentration I have to remain here. I need your help, son. We must act quickly. When the ship passed between the moons, the twin dreamers were disturbed in their slumber. All the chaos you've witnessed, the filth, that creeping horror is only a fraction of the destruction that it can bring. If they corrupt the engine, the moons of Mars, the dreaming ones will awaken, and they will devour all of reality.
You left me. You left us for a delusion. What the fuck do you care about reality?
Reality is where my son lives.
What do I need to do?
Find the Gaia Engine. I will help you do what must be done. Help me, Shane. Help me undo what has been set in motion.
Please don't leave again.
Don't worry. We'll solve this. Together.
With the objective to help our mother, we enter the floating elevator, pass the plant monster, and reconnect with Declan, who was still at the Serrano crash site. And we tell him everything that was going on down there, everything that we found out, and how we need to find the Gaia Engine. But with that, we head over to the site and try to catch up with them. However, the gate is closed. How did the other two get in without having to solve this puzzle? After opening its gates, Shane steps into the vast corridors of this ancient structure. The walls rise above him, lined with sculptures so perfectly preserved that any archaeologist would be left in awe, their craftsmanship untouched by time. However, his mom would start telling us about the ancient civilization, the ones who came before, the ones who built this.
The murals are so well preserved.
I came here to learn from the ancients, travelers at the nexus of the dream world. The Gaia Engine they discovered That immaculate machine spans both dimensions. It powered their entire civilization, gave them pure vision, sight through time, knowledge unencumbered. And with all the good that intense light and power brings, there is always someone or something that wants to claim it for their own. I craved it. The knowledge consumed me. I learned and I saw. These murals, Shane. It's a warning they left here long ago. If we let the filth take over the Gaia Engine, the universe is left to the whims of ancient beings awakening from a million-year slumber. You and I, we are the final guardians. We must repair what has been broken. Reality will cease to exist.
Pushing forward towards the Gaia Engine, a call cracks over the comms. Josie and Declan have located it. Josie identifies it as the engine, but Declan says it's not like any engine that he's seen before, and Cynthia would urge us to join them quickly. But it's not that simple, because there are creatures in the sand that will quickly zone in on us if we're not careful. But after some maneuvering, we're able to cross the sand safely, and yet, by the time we arrive, it is still too late.
I'm gonna try to barricade the door!
No, it's already here. You can't.
You fucking bastards! You're gonna have to tear me apart! Ah!
Josie. Oh my God, Josie. Shit. Josie is.
Hold on!
Josie and Declan have been ambushed by the filth. Josie is strung up by some tentacles, and Declan is laid out on the floor, with aliens hovering over him.
No. Declan! Fuck, this can't be happening.
Shane, listen to me. You can't trust her. She isn't who you think. And if she is who you think, she doesn't deserve you. They told me to load it into the Invictus. The failsafe, you know. They said I'd know when to use it. Said I'd know if we should. Well, it's now, Shane. It's you. I won't be coming along, buddy. Save the world, man. And tell your mom to fuck off. For me.
How does he know my mom? Regardless, even though everyone we know here is now dead, we still need to fix the Gaia Engine. When one falls, we continue. One by one, Shane activates the towering pillars, forcing the massive cube at the chamber's center to spin faster and faster. Cynthia's voice gnaws at us through the comms, urging us haste before the two Martian moons converge. So, like a good boy, we listen to Mommy.
It's in place. I hope to God this works.
My sweet boy. I'm so...
Jesus! What's happening?
Time has come. It was inevitable.
We were too late, Shane! The engine cannot contain the dreamers any longer! Run! Before it consumes you! Run!
It's only now in retrospect that I realize the warnings were there all along. The carvings in the basement, the visions, the circles intertwined like moons of madness. They weren't warnings to stop us, but prophecies pushing us forward. And now, we've done exactly what the dreamers wanted, but I guess what the travelers, the ancient civilization before us, didn't want us to do, they warned us against.
There has to be something we can do!
It is too late to restore the machine. We have one last chance. One final result. The Gaia Engine is compromised. The sleepers stir. The barrier is mended. The barrier is mended. The work requires sacrifice.
Mom! Stay with me!
To the moons. The engine can be reborn, but it requires sacrifice. The moons, the dreamers, Phobos and Deimos. We must close the rift, shut the gate. Shane, you are here for a reason. You were marked, sent here, chosen.
Okay, So I guess apparently when Shane peeped the Necronomicon as a kid, he was marked by the Sleepers or the Dreamers. I don't know, there's so many different names for them. I think the Sleepers or the Dreamers are the entities connected to the Necronomicon, but the Travelers were the ancient civilization who made those murals from before, who made the ancient structures. But the point is, the moon scars on Shane's hand is their mark, the Dreamers' mark. Shane is and has been connected to them and was the key to getting the engine going, but not in a positive way. I don't know if you can tell by this point, even just by the way that his mom has been talking, but we should have listened to Declan. That isn't our mother, and if she is, then she is corrupted, because she has been using us for some reason, trying to get us to set everything into motion. She didn't actually want us to restore the Gaia Engine. She wasn't trying to get us to fix anything. She was trying to get us to do something else. But more on that soon. We climb into the Meerkat and race towards the Invictus, the rocket ship, our last hope of leaving this dying world. The launch sequence begins, but the filth lashes out, sending colossal roots tearing up through the sand in an attempt to stop us. Monstrous shapes rise beneath the ground, chasing us to the rocket. And I begin to wonder, are these creatures here because of the otherworldly filth? Are these things alien? Or are these that insane doctor's plant creatures growing out of control? Maybe it's all of the above, but soon we break through and reach the vessel, offering our final salute to our fallen teammates before igniting the engines. Now for a moment, there is a relief, because we're rising above Mars, breaking free of its grasp. But then...
Close your eyes, cross your fingers. Come on. Clear up the atmosphere. Trajectory is set for orbit. What do we do next? Mom? Mom, are you there? Holy shit! What's happened?
This is everything you are. Just you alone. It's time, Shane.
Time for what?
Hush, my sweet boy. It's almost over.
No! This is wrong! You want to release those things!
They must be free, so that I can be freed. You destroyed the Gaia Engine with your corrupted hands. Please, Shane, help me.
Through Cynthia's revelations, the final truth becomes clear. Her goal all along was to free the Dreaming Ones. She had been trapped in the space between dreams, and needed us to free the Dreamers, and by doing so, also free her. Shane's Necronomicon poison touch was integral in corrupting the Gaia Engine, and the Gaia Engine was actually the only thing keeping the Dreamers locked away, keeping the Dreamers sleeping. Cynthia was manipulating us all along, in the same way that the Orochi group was. Although Orochi didn't care to awaken the Dreamers, they just wanted power and they needed Shane as a means to find out how to do that. But because of our mother, now we've broken the barrier between dimensions.
What's happening? You can't do this! Stop!
Oh, Shane, this is not the end. There is no end. There is no escape.
Nothing to do. Nothing he can do. Shane just sits there, still alive, still moving his head around, and perhaps the Dreamers will continue to keep him alive, drifting in space, fate worse than death type thing. But how does this story relate to Funcom's other game, The Park? Because again, this all takes place within the same universe.